Black Dog LED is one of the most popular LED grow light brands on the market today. This is no easy accomplishment considering the plethora of LED companies competing for your dollar. Black Dog LED entered the LED game early and therefore has had sufficient time to develop and test their LED grow lights. 6 years later, they're still going strong, proving to be one of the top LED innovators in the industry. LED technology can change quick, so staying on top of these changes is important. They took notice of these changes and updated their popular PhytoMAX series to the PhytoMAX2 series in late January 2017. A few of the noticeable changes from the PhytoMAX to the PhytoMAX2 series includes upgrade to higher quality, more efficient diodes, 60% more light at the same wattage as a PhytoMAX series, glass plate was removed to assist in light transmission, quieter cooling fans, and only a very slight price increase over the PhytoMAX series. Black Dog LED kept the same light models for their PhytoMAX2 series. The series includes the 200, the 400, the 600, the 800, and the 1000. So this review of the PhytoMAX2 series will not cover a specific PhytoMAX2 fixture, but instead I will review the entire series with an occasional mention of the individual models. So let's take a deep dive into the PhytoMAX2 series now. Black Dog LED incorporates the highest quality, latest technology, top bin LEDs into their PhytoMAX2 series. All of the PhytoMAX2 lights use 5-watt diodes spread evenly over the PCB, ensuring even light distribution and coverage. This design eliminates hot spots and leaf burn compared to some other LED grow lights which contain fewer, more powerful LEDs over the fixture and can lead to hot spot issues. 5-watt diodes allow the perfect mixture of canopy penetration and efficiency. Some growers claim that 3-watt diodes lack the punch needed for optimal penetration. Furthermore, high wattage diodes over 5 watts can give off too much heat and reduce the lifespan of the LED, and it can be a challenge to manage the additional heat given off by these high-powered diodes. The heat generated by Black Dog LED's 5-watt diodes is properly transferred to the fixture's heat sinks and blown away from the fixture. Black Dog LED handpicks the diodes from the industry leader for the given wavelength. For example, they might source their blue LED chips from Cree and their red LEDs from Osram. I think their decision to source the LEDs from different manufacturers is a good move. It allows them to incorporate the very best diodes into the fixture for optimal efficiency and light intensity, which ensures growers are receiving the very best diodes. The typical lifetime that one can expect from these diodes is a minimum of 50,000 hours. Different color LEDs have different rated lifespans, with some wavelengths rated at 65,000 hours or more. This is a standard for almost all of the LEDs on the market today. This doesn't mean that the LEDs will burn out after 50,000 hours, but instead the luminosity will drop to 70% of the original rating, rendering the fixture into a questionable usage state. Though the grow light can still be used after 50,000 hours, it isn't recommended since the efficiency and the light intensity will not be ideal for sufficient plant growth. Yet 50,000 hours is nearly 10 years of growing, so grow on. The different models of PhytoMAX2 contain a different number of LEDs to reach the stated intensity for growing in the recommended footprint. In order of series, the PhytoMAX2 fixtures contain 84, 168, 252, 336, and 420 diodes, respectively. Optics, or beam angles, are an important consideration because they determine how the light is transmitted to the plant. Either the light beams out at a wide angle, or it can radiate toward the plant at a narrow angle. Secondary optics are often used for narrow angle transmission, which can increase par levels and penetration. One feature that stood out to me on the PhytoMAX2 series was the decision by Black Dog LED to not use secondary optics on their lights. Black Dog LED only uses primary glass lenses on all of their PhytoMAX2 fixtures. The lack of secondary optics appears in contrast to what many of the manufacturers are doing these days on their LED grow lights. Yet, a significant portion of that light can be lost when using secondary optics due to reflection and refraction losses. Therefore, primary lenses are more efficient than secondary lenses, hence Black Dog's decision to not use secondary optics. What are primary lenses? This is a glass that is coated onto the LED during the manufacturing process. Combined with the 5-watt diodes, the primary lenses allow the intense light that exits the diode at 90 degrees to mix evenly over the light footprint while providing high PPFD. The advantage of the primary lenses also comes into play when using more than one PhytoMAX2 unit. When the fixtures are set up next to each other for a larger grow, the footprint's edges allow more even blending. This is key. Compare this with many of the other LED grow lights on the market, which only use secondary lenses to concentrate the light in a circular or oval shape below the light fixture. Placing a few of these units together will cause a hot spot where the two light patterns meet. Another method that Black Dog LED used to increase their light intensity by 60% was to eliminate the glass plate that was covering the entire bottom of the fixture. While the glass plate provided protection, it also decreased the light transmission. Eliminating this glass plate increased light efficiency by a whopping 8%. A smart move if you ask me. Some manufacturers, like many of the Chinese LED grow light brands from eBay or Amazon, will state the LED wattage in the title of the grow light. Does this mean that the grow light draws that many watts, or is this the equivalent HID fixture wattage? It's confusing and misleading. I've recently seen an LED grow light on eBay advertised as 1000 watts. There's no possible way that LEDs are being powered to their full capacity, otherwise the fixture would burn out in no time. Though 100 diodes multiplied by 10 watts is 1000 watts, the fixture is maybe drawing half of this wattage. Black Dog LED is very honest about their fixture wattages. They make it easy to know the total wattage draw of each fixture by naming the series in conjunction with the wattage draw of each fixture. The wattage draw for each fixture in this series is as follows: 210 watts, 420 watts, 630 watts, 840 watts, and 1050 watts. As you can see, the fixtures draw slightly more wattage than the name of the fixture suggests. Again, this is the actual wattage drawn by the entire unit as measured at the wall. Black Dog LED also lists the LED wattages for reference. This is the number of LEDs on the fixture multiplied by the diode wattage. For example, PhytoMAX2 200 contains 84 LEDs. At 5 watts each, the total LED wattage of the fixture is 420 watts. However, the true wattage of the fixture is only 210 watts. This suggests that Black Dog LED is driving the diodes to about an average of 50% of their potential. Underdriving LEDs is important in reducing heat load, extending the lifetime of the LEDs, and increasing diode efficiency. Wattage can be a useful metric when comparing LED grow lights because it is roughly related to a fixture's light output. I say roughly because PPFD is the best metric. In essence, assuming all things equal, more power equals higher light intensity. Wattage is also important because it'll determine how much heat the fixture will emit. Taking the PhytoMAX2 1000 as an example, the fixture draws 1050 watts, which is a similar power draw to a 1000 watt HPS. HPS fixtures draw about 1040 to 1060 watts due to the ballast. Therefore, the light fixtures will have a similar heat load. At 3.41 BTUs per watt, the PhytoMAX2 1000 will exude 3,580.5 BTUs of heat into the grow environment. The upside to this large heat load is that Black Dog LED recommends keeping the grow room temperatures at about 9 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than an HPS grow room, since LEDs lack the forward heat that HPS bulbs beam toward the plants. The extra boost in temperature helps moderate and regulate plant physiological processes. Cannabis grows best at about 85 degrees Fahrenheit, assuming an adequate amount of light and CO2. In this case, you might be thinking, what is the point of LEDs if you're not saving money on electricity? Well, the PhytoMAX2 1000 has a maximum flowering footprint of about 6.5 by 6.5, compared to 1000 watt HPS, which has a flowering footprint of about 4 by 4. Therefore, the PhytoMAX2 1000 can sufficiently cover 26.25 square feet more space than a standard 1000 watt HPS grow light. Spectrum is one of the most important considerations when choosing an LED grow light. If the spectrum is lacking, plant growth and flower size and quality will be too. Black Dog LED developed and refined their proprietary phytogenesis spectrum over the last 6 years. They claim that their spectrum will outperform HPS, MH, CMH, induction, fluorescent, and white full spectrum LEDs in equal wattage tests. Though I can't put their claim up to the test myself at this time, there have been plenty of growers who have grown with their lights and can back up these claims. The phytogenesis spectrum is a true full spectrum ranging from 365 nanometers UV to 750 nanometers near IR. The spectrum is designed for lush growth and optimal flowering. In addition to targeting the photosynthetic and carotenoid peaks with blues and reds, the spectrum also includes UVA and near IR. Ultraviolet light has been shown to increase THC, CBD, terpenes, flavonoids, antioxidants, and pigmentation. UV light also maximizes trichome production and makes the plants more resistant to pests and diseases. Near-infrared light boosts photosynthetic efficiency via the Emerson effect. Black Dog LED slightly changed the phytogenesis spectrum for the PhytoMAX2. This spectral curve is the original PhytoMAX spectrum. I layered the original phytogenesis spectrum on top of the new phytogenesis spectrum to determine what Black Dog LED changed in the spectrum. The bright pink line is the PhytoMAX2 spectrum, while the light purple line is the original PhytoMAX spectrum. Comparing these two lines, there are a few notable differences. The biggest difference is perhaps the boost in blue in the 440 to 460 nanometer range. Increased blue decreases internodal spacing and directs more of your plant's energy to flowers and leaves instead of the stems. Also, more deep blues around 410 nanometers and more UVA were added. Secondly, Black Dog LED increased the greens and yellows by a factor of 2 or 3. Mixed with blue and red light, green light creates a more natural viewing light to help see the true colors of the leaves. Black Dog LED says that after your eyes adjust to the phytogenesis spectrum, your plants will appear very natural, allowing easy determination of plant health. What's more, some studies and observations show that green light can increase photosynthesis. There is also a change in the red-orange part of the spectrum, around 630 nanometers. The likely reason for this shift has to do with efficiency. The new red-orange peak is closer to the actual chlorophyll peak, leading to an increase in photosynthetic efficiency at this range. Finally, the new spectrum's near IR peak is also around 720 nanometers as opposed to 745 nanometers for the old spectrum. However, the difference between these near IR wavelengths is mostly negligible. One point that I'd like to make about this series spectrum is that it does not contain UVB. Not many companies include UVB diodes into their fixtures since they're expensive. Black Dog LED spectrum has about 2.5% UV photons by photon count, or 4.6% UV by energy of light. This is slightly less than the sun spectrum at noon, but over a 12-hour day is more UV energy than your plants would get from the sun. Black Dog LED considers the lack of UVB to be a benefit since UVB degrades materials and can cause cancer. UVA offers all the same plant benefits, increases resin production, affects photosynthesis, without these drawbacks. I admit that Black Dog LED has one of the best spectrums out of any other LED grow light on the market, yet the downside of the spectrum is that it's a single spectrum, so growers are not able to adjust or dim the spectrum for different stages of growth. Dimming is useful for saving money on electricity during veg, since the plants need less light during this stage than they do in flower. The upside to the lack of dimming or spectrum control is that the plants in veg will end up growing more rapidly without the extra light. Black Dog LED makes a great point regarding their choice for a single spectrum. They claim that the spectrum eliminates growth stalling associated with spectrum changes. For example, when growers switch from metal halide to HPS, this can shock the plants and they respond by slowing down their growth while adjusting to the new light spectrum. Similarly, the same stalling can occur when growing under blue-shifted LED grow lights, then quickly shifting to a red-shifted spectrum without allowing the plants to adjust. Plant shock is not an issue with Black Dog LED's single spectrum. Photosynthetically active radiation, or PAR for short, is the second biggest consideration when choosing an LED grow light. Another thing that I like about Black Dog LED is that they publish the average PAR data for all of their lights over different distances. They don't use lumens or any other irrelevant measurement of growth potential. PAR is reported in photosynthetic photon flux density, or PPFD for short. This is the amount of light photons striking a given area every second. As we have seen, due to the lack of secondary lenses, the PhytoMAX2 series distributes the light more evenly than other grow lights out there. While the PPFD may be slightly lower in the center of the footprint than some other grow lights that use secondary lenses, The light is spread out more evenly throughout the entire footprint. This creates a more even PPFD map and makes for smaller variances in their average PPFD readings. Why is the average PPFD important? Well, many LED companies will sometimes only state a single PPFD number, but will not tell you where it comes from. So we can only assume it is a PPFD reading taken at the center of the light footprint at a given distance. But this is not an accurate representation of the fixture's growth potential because it does not tell you how powerful the light is outside the center of the footprint. Black Dog LED's average PPFD measurements are a true representation of the light's ability to do work on your plants. However, for reference, Black Dog LED also publishes the PPFD taken at the center at specified distances. Black Dog LED reports the smallest, medium, and largest footprint for each light in the PhytoMAX2 series. Using these footprints, you can determine the average PPFD your plants will be receiving. Smaller footprints will concentrate the light and lead to larger yields or bigger flowers, while larger footprints will spread the light out, decrease the fixture's intensity, and lead to smaller yields or smaller flowers. I also like the fact that Black Dog LED displays the photon flux of each fixture at the UV range, PAR range, and IR range, so you know how much light energy is radiating from these wavelengths. Black Dog LED has gone the extra mile to provide a chart on the expected footprint coverage given a particular PPFD. This is great because it is very useful and I've never seen any other company do this before. The chart can be useful when planning out a grow space. For example, you're shooting for 500 ppfd in a 5x5 space. The chart says that the best grow light would be the PhytoMAX2 800. Or if you already have a fixture, you might want to know the ppfd that you are getting at the given footprint. Pretty handy. Remember, you should only increase ppfd beyond a particular point if you increase your temperatures and CO2 accordingly. Using a PhytoMAX2 800 in a 4x4 space will give you an average of 700 ppfd, but your plant may not be able to use all that light if your temperatures are too low and your CO2 levels are suboptimal. Black Dog LED recommends additional CO2 supplementation at about 600 ppfd or more, but you can probably get away with 900 to 1000 ppfd. Overall, the PPFD levels for the PhytoMAX2 series is sufficient for optimal growth and flowering, and when used correctly, you can expect excellent growth and large yields. The coverage areas for the PhytoMAX2 series are larger than the original PhytoMAX series and are on par with the expected footprints given the relative wattage of each fixture. As I showed you in the last section, the coverage area can vary depending on the PPFD levels that you're shooting for. The coverage area also depends on mounting height, with lower PPFD at higher levels and higher PPFD at lower mounting heights. Black Dog LED created a coverage area map for each of their lights for veg and flower. Note, a larger coverage area for veg since plants do not need as much light to grow in this stage as they do in flower. Since the veg and flower footprints in these charts are the recommended maximum coverage areas, you will attain a higher PPFD if you move the light closer to the plants. But of course this will decrease your footprint, so be aware of this fact when planning out your grow space. The PhytoMAX2 series is a significant upgrade in light intensity from the original PhytoMAX series. Black Dog LED claims that the PhytoMAX2 series exudes 60% more light than the original PhytoMAX series, and therefore is able to cover a larger footprint. For example, the original PhytoMAX 800 covered a 5x5 or 25 square foot area for flowering, yet the PhytoMAX2 800 covers up to a 6x6 or 36 square feet flowering area. That's 11 extra square feet of coverage. Comparing the PhytoMAX2 1000, which is 1050 watts, to a standard 1000 watt HPS, a 1000 watt HPS covers a 4x4 area or 5x5 if you really want to stretch it. The PhytoMAX2 1000 covers up to a 6.5 by 6.5 foot area and therefore allows 17.25 square feet more grow area than the HPS over a 5x5 and 26.25 square feet more grow area than an HPS in a 4x4. The best PhytoMAX2 light for your needs will depend on how large or small your grow space is. Don't buy a larger fixture than you will need, or you will be wasting electricity while potentially harming your plants. But also don't skimp and buy too small of a fixture, or you'll be starving your plants for light. In general, it is wise to use several smaller fixtures to cover a large area, as opposed to using fewer large fixtures, since you will get more even coverage. Smaller fixtures are less powerful, so ensure the fixtures will be providing enough PPFD to your plants. You'll also want to be careful when mounting Black Dog LED's more powerful fixtures such as the PhytoMAX2 800 and the 1000. You will want to maintain an adequate distance between the plants and the fixture in order to attain the desired coverage area and mitigate the risk of burning your plants. These lights are not to be placed within inches of your plants like some of the other LED grow lights on the market. The heat sinks on the new PhytoMAX2 series are massive. The larger fixtures have some of the biggest heat sinks in the entire grow light industry. To give you an idea of the size and the weight, the PhytoMAX2 1000 dimensions are 21 inches by 21 inches by 7 inches, and it weighs 53 pounds. And a lot of the weight of the PhytoMAX 1000 is due to the large heat sinks. Large heat sinks are needed to transfer the heat given off from the 420 5-watt diodes. The PhytoMAX2 series contains ultra-quiet, long-life fans with a rated lifespan of 70,000 plus hours. These are some of the best in the entire industry. Many other grow lights use cheap fans that can go out after a few thousand hours. The fans are located on the side of the unit and draw air in from one side of the unit, across the heat sinks, and out the other side. Many other LED grow lights have the fans on top of the fixture. I'm pretty sure that Black Dog LED placed the fans on the side of the unit so growers could mount the light closer to the ceiling if needed without restricting airflow. They could have also chosen this design since it allows the pass-through of air from one side of the light over the heat sinks and out the other side. The PhytoMAX2 series is well constructed, and this is noticeable as soon as you pick one up. It's solid, sturdy, and would do some serious damage if you threw it at somebody. But I certainly don't recommend this. The glass plate that once stood in front of the LEDs has been removed in the new series, so the fixture is less fragile than before. Yet, you'd still want to be careful not to bump the front of the fixture where all of the LEDs and circuitry reside. Too hard of a bump on the corner could damage the board. The new fixtures are designed and assembled in Colorado, United States. The original PhytoMAX series was designed in the USA and assembled overseas. The PhytoMAX2 is ETL certified to UL safety standards. It is also CE certified for the EU. The fixtures also hold an FCC certification and are RoHS compliant. In summary, the lights are safe to use in a home or commercial application in the US and Canada. Black Dog claims a 6 to 12 month average return on investment. Since this is too short of a time period to assume it is strictly from energy savings, it must be from additional revenue from increased yield. To use the PhytoMAX2 series, hang it up, plug it in, turn it on. It's that simple. There's no additional preparation or setup required. The PhytoMAX2 series contains a flexible driver rated for 120 volts AC to 240 volts AC. The unit is shipped with a 120 volt AC power cord, so if a 240 volt AC cord is needed, it will need to be requested. Hanging height varies for each of the different lights and for the vegetative and flowering footprint. As stated previously, ensure that you have enough clearance to hang the PhytoMAX2 grow light in your grow tent or grow room. You can use the flowering footprint sizes for vegetative growth, although you may need to increase fertilizer and CO2 to make full use of the extra light if you're vegging in a smaller area than the medium recommended flowering footprint. All PhytoMAX2 lights come with a limited lifetime warranty. In the rare and unfortunate event that something happens to your PhytoMAX2 grow light at no fault of your own, Black Dog LED will be able to repair it within 45 days of the receipt of the defective product for the first 3 years after purchase. Between 3 and 5 years, the customer will be responsible for labor associated with repairs, and Black Dog LED will be responsible for the cost of parts. After 5 years, Black Dog LED will offer repair services and parts as long as parts are available. The cost of repairs and parts after 5 years are the sole responsibility of the customer. Black Dog LED will pay for the return shipping and shipping for any repairs within the first 12 months. After 12 months, the customer needs to pay to ship the defective unit back for repairs. And when Black Dog LED sends the light back to you, they'll only cover up to $50 of the shipping charges. Black Dog LED offers a 90-day return policy on their PhytoMAX2 lights. This is a generous and exceedingly common return policy for an LED grow light. However, only one light can be returned per customer, and it must be returned in as-new condition. A 10% restocking fee and the cost of shipping the light to the customer is deducted from the refund when returning a light. So what's included in the box? One 8-foot, 14-gauge, 120-volt North American outlet NEMA 515 power cord, one pair of commercial LED hanger clips, and metal adjustable ratcheting 8-foot light hangers. So 240-volt cords are available for an extra $10.99, 20-foot 240-volt cords are available for $21.99, and 25-foot 120-volt cords are available for $25.99. The pricing for the PhytoMAX2 series is as follows. LED Grow Lights Depot is running a special on the PhytoMAX2 series. You can get the lights for 10% off when you use the code DOG, that's D-O-G, at checkout. If you're interested in more than one unit, please contact LED Grow Lights Depot for the best pricing at 971-266-0352 or email LED Grow Lights Depot at sales@ledgrowlightsdepot.com. At the end of the day, the PhytoMAX2 series is a buy. Why? The PhytoMAX2 series contains top bin, high power 5-watt diodes, an improved spectrum, large heat sinks, advanced cooling fans, and an extended warranty. Most importantly, the fixtures sufficiently cover their claimed footprint with a great amount of PAR needed for lush growth and quality yields. I like that Black Dog LED is honest, and that they provide a lot of data to back up their claims. I'm especially impressed by the plethora of PAR data. It's very helpful stuff. I have yet to hear one bad review of the PhytoMAX2 series. My only gripe is a high price point, especially for the larger fixtures. However, for units that are drawing 800 and 1000 watts, the cost per watt is comparable with many of the other leading brands on the market. In my experience with using LED grow lights and helping customers choose a grow light fixture, you get what you pay for. A quality grow light will cost you a bit, but it's better to pay more upfront on a quality fixture than pay half the amount on a mediocre fixture that is bound to give you issues in a year or two. I guarantee this. I can't tell you exactly which PhytoMAX2 series grow light to purchase, since the right light for you depends on the area that you want to cover and what you can afford. You can purchase a more powerful light to cover a smaller footprint and expect larger yields, or you can purchase a less powerful light, use it in that same footprint, and expect slightly smaller yields. Of course, we all want to maximize our plant's growth and flowering potential, but sometimes our budget can limit our wants and desires. But at the end of the day, I give the PhytoMAX2 series a 9 out of 10. Here's a final summary of the pros and cons of the PhytoMAX2 series. I hope you really enjoyed this PhytoMAX2 review, learned something about LED grow lights, and most importantly, are now able to make an informed purchasing decision on Black Dog LED grow lights. Please show your love and support for LED grow lights and this review by liking this video and leaving a comment below.